Everybody, it's Amy again. I was just doing a live then and it crashed. So I'm going to wait for everybody to come find me again and hopefully we can start over. The technology things that happen. Such is life. That was fun. Hi again. So that was my Instagram crashing.
You know what? And that's just what is at the moment.
It totally is. So I'm going to take it from the top for everybody who is joining us for this recording. Folks, welcome. I'm talking with Renee, who is the co-founder of Rebalance Naturally, based in Melbourne. She has a boutique studio. She does all sorts of allied treatments. She's spending some time with us today because I am celebrating all of the teachers who decided to make a pivot and change what they were doing so that they could still be in service, still be supporting people, and still making money during the quarantine period. Renee, I had an email overnight from a yoga teacher who was complaining about, essentially about my prices, because she suddenly now finds herself as a self-employed person not having any income. And one of the things I think that's so exciting and so worthy of celebration is I'm a self-employed person, you're a self-employed person, and I do suspect, not on your life, Julius, I do suspect that it's a choice as a self-employed person in the yoga industry if you want to suddenly have no income or not. I'm curious to know what you think about that.
Yeah, it's definitely a time that's needed the pivoting, that's for sure, and a little out of the comfort zone for everyone, though, because we're all in this together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've found that there are a lot of offerings at the moment that you could be putting on. And for me, I've had to come back to the offerings that are a whole body yes for me that I want to be offering. And one of those being is I love the community that we cultivate here and ensuring that I could still offer it in some capacity, knowing that, yeah, it's going to look different. I'm such a hugger. I can't do that at the moment. But what I can do is still create and hold the space for the people to connect, and you know, we are all making it work with what's happening. And this week I've just started back with our term yoga, and it's so beautiful just to see familiar faces on the screen.
I love it. So why did you decide to do this? Why did you not just go, too hard, I'm gonna claim the JobKeeper thing and I'm just gonna wait it out?
For me, when I really came back to what yoga meant to me, and when I found it in my life and made the choice to, you know, change up my path in life as a, you know, primary school educator to educating in health and wellness, it came to me at a time where I was in a little overwhelm. I was in my head, and now more than ever, I feel that these tools are so beneficial for everyone. Like, they're always beneficial, but even I'm finding myself drawn back to the mat. I'm loving online for my own yoga practice. I don't know about you, but I got up this morning and did my own. I'm, you know, getting to see people that had moved and I couldn't take their yoga classes. So it's been kind of cool. That's being ace.
I love it. And, you know, it's actually putting the purpose in front. Like what I'm hearing you say is that this is your dharma, and no matter what, you had to continue to share it. No matter what.
Yeah, I felt
so
that. And, you know, sorry, just, you know, when you finish up on yoga classes and you have that time still to have a little chat at the end, even though it's via virtual at the moment, the fact that they were just like, thank you, I needed that today, and I can leave and knowing off that call that that's why I'm persisting and taking things virtual.
What was the process like? Did you have a lot of tech set up? Did it take a long time? Did you just launch into it? What was the getting going like for you?
Yeah, I had used the platform Zoom before, so that was great, but I had never really set up a lot of meetings myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, there's always a thing with the camera and where to place the camera, how high do I need to be back, and still playing with some of that. I've just said to the students, look, we're going to try a few rooms next week and just see what's better for you, how far, and sound. There have been a few, you know, there is always going to be tech things. But you know what? In all of that, you find some upskilling for yourself, and that can be really empowering in a way when you look at that. There have been a few moments where I'm like, okay, step away from the computer. We're just going to go for a walk now. But all in all, it's been great, and you know, people have been receptive as well.
What's the conversion been like for you, for people who are coming to your in-person classes? To how many of them? Some people I'm hearing are frightened to do it because they're concerned that their students won't do online. What was your experience with numbers of, or sort of percentage of people coming over?
Okay, I probably had 80% of my students resign this term. I had some that said, Renee, technology, it's just not for me. I'm definitely coming back when you open up, and that's fine. That's where that. What's been really exciting is then I have had just other students that, or friends. I lived in Singapore for 5 years, and I built beautiful friendships. I've now gone global. I couldn't have done that. I'm like, wow, how cool is that? And I get to see their beautiful faces every week. It's pretty beautiful.
That's fun. And what about pricing? Did you change your prices or keep them the same from in person?
What I did was I allowed my early bird price, which I would have given as my term price. So I had that. So it didn't really alter a lot. And what I did offer as an offering is that you can sign for one and you can get access to the class, all the classes that I'm running for. So it gave another offering to just build in some extra yoga within their week, because the capacity is not an issue. I've got a small boutique space. I could not do that in person, but I can offer that as my online offering. And then I've still got a drop-in rate.
Well, please, girl, tell us, how do we come to your drop-in classes?
Yeah. So this is where my tech issue is lying at the moment. So I've got to put that today. That will be up by the end of the week. But you can go to Rebalance Naturally, and I've got a thing that says casual class, and you can choose whether you want to come on a Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, or Saturday morning. And come for an hour for a little bit of slow flow bliss.
That sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Well, how you find, if you noticed, last week we were talking a little bit in the community about people feeling different at the end of teaching. Some people have noticed that they feel more energetically drained after teaching online than they do in person. Have you noticed anything in yourself in being a teacher online that's different from in person?
I was saying this to my husband last night. It's hard to gauge, I think, for myself, because when you're in person, you get this different energetic feel, how the flow. It's very hard on a screen to gauge that. But you just need to, I think, come back to trust that, you know, you've been doing this, and trust in yoga as an art, that it leaves, you know, people feeling, you know, that calm and coming back within their body. And then, you know, that's where the thank you, or the student feedback at the end is quite nice when they do leave a comment. So I'm really evident for myself when I am going to yoga classes virtually to leave a comment for the teacher myself, because I feel that if that's their thing of being able to feel that essence that they're not getting in person, then that can only be a beautiful, beautiful element.
I love that. I hadn't thought about it like that, but yes, I think you're right. It's important to do that for each other. It's something that girl Linda was talking about yesterday on our interview. She was saying that she's had a few sort of cringe moments where she's been watching herself on the replay, and she's found that this has been an opportunity to refine her teaching. Have you watched your replays? Are you watching your own classes?
I haven't been recording them. That's
Ah,
I haven't. I should start recording some of them. Yeah, that would be really interesting. Whether I go into a little critical judgy or whether I am like reflective.
okay. So this brings up a whole other thing then, because so for you, people still sign up for classes like they normally would. They can still come along, but you're not doing recordings and you're not doing access to recordings. Is that right?
Nope.
I love this, Renee. This is going to be a game changer for a bunch of people who are watching this, who are in administration overwhelmed because of sending out replay links and where do I put them and hosting this, and so you're just not doing that at all.
Nope.
I love it. Oh God, give me like a sigh emoji. Anybody who's watching this.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like it's just like I have thought about doing that, but I'm not there, and I'm just like, there are so many things that you can go and watch on a replay or do that. I'm thinking at the moment it's you're choosing to come here, be part of the community, have a chat before and after a class, go through the flow, and you've locked that in for yourself. Hence, signing up for the term, signing up for the community. We're there for ourselves and each other, and that's kind of what we cultivate. And
Yes.
I've just let it be like that.
I love it. I love it. Big Booty Yoga says, thanks, ladies. You bet. That is a seriously fierce Instagram handle. I'm going to go and stalk your profile as soon as we're finished here. That's awesome. Renee, what would you say for people who are, well, I think this sort of, my sense of, my gauge on it at the moment is there's kind of three camps. One is the people who are like, I've lost all my income. This is disaster. I'm not as interested in supporting those folks. The second one is people who haven't quite yet done it. They're still kind of faffing about, waiting to get the right technology, so they haven't quite gone to online. And the third is people who are starting to do it and are looking to refine. What advice or insights would you have to share with either of those two latter groups? People who are doing it or have been getting going or are going but looking to get a bit better. In what obviously you're going well, you've had 80% of your students keep on going, you're not bothering with all of the administrivia of sending out replays, etc. What would be your advice to those teachers who are watching who can learn from someone who's doing it well?
Yeah, my first thing will be kind to yourself and know that everything is a learning process, and to just start with what you've got, and you can make changes. I always find when you're in the learning, like there's different kind of learners. And when I know for myself that as an experiential learner, I learn best. So when I'm doing it and then slightly tweaking things as I go, as opposed to just knowing, and then there's no growth there. So with whatever you've got, whatever camera, whatever mic, whatever, just start with that. And then you can gauge by your students, was that okay? Like yesterday in the morning, one student couldn't hear me well for the class, and she was brand new, so how awful for her, and I'm like, okay, thank you for letting me know. And then when I had my class last night, I tweaked the mic or whatever had to be done, and I just was sure to say, was everyone able to hear me? So yeah, I feel like that would be where I would say for people to be kind and just start with what you've got.
Do your best, but don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah. Don't sweat the small stuff. And you know what? It's easier to say than in practice, because last night I'm like, oh, this thing's not up on the website, and I'm like, am I going to go to sleep worrying about this, or am I just going to have a good night's sleep and recharge and go back and give it another crack tomorrow?
And which one did you choose?
Oh, I chose to have my sleep. I am much better when I've had my 8 hours, let me tell you.
Spirited Yogini is here, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking about you this morning, Spirited Yogini. I'm pretty sure she would agree with you there that you're definitely better in your business when you've slept well.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so tell us again where we can give us your links again, so that we can come and do your casual classes. So tell us more.
Yeah, so at Rebalance Naturally is my Insta, and then you can find www.rebalancenaturally.com is where you can find all the modalities that we offer. So we've got yoga, and there'll be some one-on-one offerings that I'll be throwing out there hopefully by next week. Yeah, so I feel like it's that in-person one-on-one that is also nice, and that I'm seeing that, you know, it's hard to chat with, you know, 12 people, you know, off mic, this mic. So I feel that that's another whole body yes for me that has been like, okay, for my students that have been asking, that we can pop that out there as well, which will be beautiful.
Rebalance naturally, folks. I just want to close out by saying thank you for demonstrating. You've done it twice now on this interview. This idea of the full body yes, because I think I've seen some teachers who are really getting stuck in their heads and thinking that they need to do all the things, and there's this panic kind of energy welling up. She's doing all of this and he's doing all of that, and oh my God, I'm going to miss out. But what you've been demonstrating to us is, in fact, offering in your business what feels right for you rather than what you think people will buy. And I think that's going to be a really important switch for some folks.
Yeah. And there's a lot out there, and we're consuming a lot at the moment. And I found myself last week was probably a turning point for me. I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. There's so many ideas. And then I'm like, hang on, what is going to be manageable, and what do you actually want to do? You know? And I've had, even for myself, having come from an education background, I've had friends going, oh, do kids yoga, that would be really great. And I had to sit with myself and go, well, I could do that, but is that what I'm directing my business to be? Like, is that my business model? And I had to come back to those foundations and those questions, and feeling to that.
Beautiful. Anybody who's here, hey Sister Trio, anybody who's here relate to what Renee's saying there about the idea of choosing to offer what feels good rather than all the things. Hey Shiatsu Yoga Girl, and maybe I'd be interested to know in the chat, everybody, in the comments, if and if you're loving what Renee's saying, give the girl some hearts. If you, like, so good. I'm wondering if there's anybody watching who's felt like that that sort of panicky energy, and then has refined to come back to what really lights you up rather than what you feel you should be doing. If that says totally, hey Swan Yoga Bliss, totally right. And one of the things that I've been talking about is the importance of being consistent. And if you don't love it, it's very hard to be consistent with something.
For sure. Consistency. Consistency in business is really important, and you've got to be wanting to show up for what you're promoting, really.
Sam says, absolutely.
Like having a crew and having accountability people and people like yourself, Amy, is great, because it's the community that you can on. There's often when I've had a question, I've often gone into, you know, the abundant yoga got there and being able to find my answer, or if not, I ask. Also feeling that even though we're virtual, we're not alone. There are places that you can obtain your answers, and instead of sitting in it and sitting in the funk for ages, being resourceful.
Love it. Thanks so much for sharing some wisdom with us. Thanks to everybody who watched us and came back after Instagram crashed on my phone.
Yeah, and keep going, everyone. All doing it together.
Sign up for some of Renee's classes, and she might come along to something of yours. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Renee. It's great.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.